right? Legal Mindset said, I need fresh content. And he found it because Hasan.
In Japan, you have to allege true facts in the public interest for the public benefit. So, for example, that would be covering like a criminal case or covering like big news. But you do not have a right to call somebody names without a reasonable basis for that. So Hasan will never be able to live anywhere in Asia.
Damn.
Much less Japan.
Not even Hong Kong? Damn.